This is a story of a boy meeting a girl. Most people start at the beginning when telling a story, but I'm not going to do that. So let's start near the end of our story and jump around a little bit. Time heals all. You will eventually get over them. For a while there, I kept hearing this piece of advice from loved ones, and even though they were trying to help, if I had to hear that one more time, I was going to strangle the lot of them. But they were right. I just didn't know it yet. And how could I? I mean, this girl was... wow. It all started back in 9th grade of school. Back then, I was still in the mindset that trying to be popular in high school was an achievement worth chasing.
Little tip. Popularity is stupid. Make some real friends instead.
But coming back to the story, there I was walking into the first day of my history class. Right now we didn't have seating assignments, so we could kind of sit wherever. I sat on the left side of the room with people who I had some affiliation with. I remember taking in the brand new room I was placed in. Nothing too special. Historical photos scattered across the walls, desks sort of bunched together in groups and scattered across the rooms, but in the very back corner of the room was a girl. I swear we locked eyes for a second, but quickly I looked away. At this point in my life, I was just beginning to find girls pretty and start to think about more than just video games and sports. So talking to her was out of the question, and I'd have zero idea of what to do. And then nothing. The rest of that year, her and I only really spoke in passing and nothing more than that. The next year was a different teacher and a different class. She wasn't in it. Same with the following year. Finally, my last year of schooling in grade 12, we reconnected. Now, I could tell you a beautiful story about how we met in a rom-com-like fashion, but I'd be lying. No. The modern-day equivalent was that I saw her name in the Snapchat quick ad section. Yeah, I know. At this point in my life, I had talked to a few different girls, and I had sort of grown in these last 3 years and become much closer to the person that I am at present. We talked every single day, and it wasn't just the odd messages. We video chatted for hours on end, and when I found out she only lived 2 hours away, talked to visiting. Isn't it a funny thing to go from talking to someone every single day to not having them in your life at all? We haven't talked in months. I think she may have blocked me out of nowhere. I don't think we ended on bad terms or anything, and that made me feel confused. But at this point, I can confidently say, I think I have you out of my mind. And then you called one day. I didn't answer. I was too scared, to be honest, and I froze. Minutes later, when I tried to call you back, you didn't answer. And that was it. Officially the last time your name would ever light up on my phone. We talk all the time. We will text each other and we will video chat for hours on end. I know when I officially visited for the first time, I was extremely nervous. I met your mom, your sister. Both were so lovely, by the way. You wanted to show me a movie. It was Midsummer. I hadn't seen it before, and honestly, it was a great film. But to be fair, you could have put on the absolute worst movie in the history of Hollywood, and I would have still said it was the best movie ever, and that was because I had you by my side. This went on for a while, and the more I saw you, the more I truly fell, and I felt hard. The cute little sneeze you did and how you tried to hide it because you felt embarrassed. How when you laughed, I lost my train of thought and became almost hypnotized by that smile. Or how it felt whenever I'd open up to you and you really listened as though you were memorizing every single word. We never officially dated. I think the best way to describe us is will they, won't they? It never felt like we had our timing right. I felt lost in life, and I had no idea what I was going to do with myself, so I decided to move all the way across the country, a 30-hour drive away. I can't lie, you were one of the last people I told just because I was scared. I was scared of what that would mean for us because I truly felt like leaving you would be the hardest thing I'd ever have to do, at least up to that point. Then, as I was building up the courage, you wanted to call me and talk. Of course I answered, but I wasn't ready for the words you had to say. You said that even though you didn't know what we were or what this was, you told me that you wanted to finally give us a try. When I tell you that a pit formed in my stomach at that moment, the mixed emotions flowing through my head, on one hand, I was over the moon ecstatic. I had been chasing you for a decent portion of my life at this point, but then I had to tell you my news. I was leaving. We sat in silence for a few moments. Neither of us really knew what to say. Truthfully, I can't even remember how this call ended. I just felt empty. I'd been living away for a while now and was planning on visiting family, but also I'd be lying if I wasn't just as excited to see you again. We planned for you to pick me up from the airport and for me to spend the night with you, just like we always had. When I saw you again, I froze. I felt like time slowed and I swear colors just became more vivid. We talked for hours. I found out you had began seeing somebody. You had just started a new job that you had been working towards. You were still working on your music and you had begun seeing someone. I know it shouldn't have bothered me at all. I left, but that part stuck in my mind a good bit. It felt like we had such a fantastic time. I told you that you should come visit me. You love the beach, and now I was living pretty close to it. If I had known this was going to be the last time I ever saw you, the last time I ever heard you sneeze and get embarrassed, the last time I got lost in your laugh, last time your eyes listened and held on to every word I said, I would have done my best to cherish every single last moment of it. At least better than I did. For a while, and even a bit now, I'm still hurt that we are no longer in each other's lives. I'm still confused on how it ended, and mostly, I do still miss you. But now it's been a little bit of time. Time for me to think on things, to gain some retrospection. So what even was the takeaway here? That we're all screwed up humans with no idea what any of us are doing? Probably. But also, time's gonna help, even though it sucks. I know, all your friends and family who kept telling you that time heals all and stuff, they were really annoying, but they were right. And T, I hope you are well, and I miss you. But anyway, I'm Cevan. Have a good rest of your day.